So you're trying to figure out which webcam is the best for you, the Elgato Facecam or the Logitech Brio? Well, that's the exact question I'm going to be helping you answer right here in this video. My name is Rakeem Madison, and we're going to jump right into the content. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what they look like right out of the box, and then after that, I'm going to show you what they look like tuned, and then we're going to look at the software so you can understand exactly what's going on with them, so you can make an informed decision to say, okay, I'm going to roll with this one or I'm going to roll with that one. All right, now do keep in mind that all down below in the description there are affiliate links. Every link that is down there that will be used to help the support of the channel. All right, so let's get right into this thing. All right, so this right here is the Elgato Facecam out of the box settings. Now granted, I do have my lighting right here and I also have my lighting back there, but besides that, that's it. I haven't touched any other software, any edits, none of that stuff. All right, now something you want to know about it is it does have an 82-degree field of view. So if you prefer that wider view like I do, then this is definitely going to work for you, but you can also adjust it if you want to kind of change certain things up. All right, now another thing I love about this is it doesn't have any autofocus, because any webcam I ever use, I always turn the autofocus off, because I hate, when I'm kind of doing my thing, getting into my groove, and then all of a sudden it tries to focus on me and then it causes that little blur. I absolutely hate that. Sometimes I'll actually go back and re-record the clip if it actually did that on me, right? So I'm glad that this one doesn't have it, and I really love the software when it comes to this specific webcam. So what we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna go ahead and look at the Brio out of the box settings. All right, so right now you're looking at me on the Logitech Brio straight out of the box, right? Now this has a 90-degree field of view, which is actually pretty good, right? Now the other one had an 82-degree field of view, but either way, they're both wide. So if you really enjoy that wide look like I do, then either one will work for you, right? Now, besides that, we're gonna do the same test, right? So the first one was, we're gonna go ahead and move my hand slow, and then we're gonna start to speed it up. And what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, did you see any freezes, any pauses or whatever? Did my hand kind of appear in one direction and in the other direction? That's what you're looking for. Now let's look at this one right here, right? So as I'm moving my hand across the screen, what we're looking for, if when I start to speed up, is do you see like a whole bunch of blur and any freezes? Pretty much the same stuff, right? Let me know down below in the comments what you're seeing, which one is looking better so far out of the box. So now what we're gonna look at is in low light, which one performs better. All right, so this right here is the Elgato Facecam in low light. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and look at what the Brio looks like in low light as well, and then you can make an informed decision on which one performs better in your eyes. All right, so right now you're looking at the Logitech Brio in low light. All I literally have is the light from my laptop, right? Let me know down below in the comments, which one do you think performs better when it comes to low light? And then now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the softwares. All right, first up, we got the Elgato Facecam software, right? So once you get inside this software and you get it on your computer, I want you to go down here where it says preview format once you open it up, and then you're gonna have all your frames per second right down here. Me personally, I like to leave it on 60 frames per second because I'm getting the highest quality, all right? Now, you can also take a picture in here. So if I wanna go like this and hit this little picture thing like this, boom, I can snap a picture and the button is gonna turn blue. Another cool thing. Now let's get into, the real reason you're here. Like, you wanna be able to dial in on like the webcam so you can make it look good, right? All right, so right up here, I want you to go to advanced settings, and then right here it says firmware version 4.06. Now, obviously that might have changed by the time that you actually received this on Amazon, but make sure you update the firmware first so you have the most current one, because sometimes this stuff could have been sitting on the shelf for months, and then you finally get it and you like 3 or 4 firmwares behind. All right, so just make sure you do that. All right, the next settings, restore factory default. So let's say for instance you go on and you like, I don't really like how this is looking, then you could just go ahead and completely reset it back to factory. All right, just press the button. All right, and then the status LED. So right now on this webcam there's a blue LED light on the left side. Right now, if I don't want that on, I could literally just hit where it says on when streaming, always off or always on. It's up to you on what you want to do with that. All right, now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna start playing with these settings, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to make this look fairly decent. All right, so here we go. So when it comes to zooming, right, if I want to zoom, I can go all the way in, right? Check me out right here. Now as I continue to go in, you see we start to get a little bit of rice. But obviously there would be no reason for me to actually be that zoomed in, and probably not you either. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and zoom out of that back to 83.2 field of view. And then now we're going to look at the picture, right? So we can adjust the contrast, you know, make it look like we really want it to look, right? And then I can keep going in. So far, you can see that's starting to look a whole lot better, right? I think it looks better right out of the box, but obviously I do have my settings, right? So let me go ahead and start setting that up. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on 60. I like 60 right about there. And then saturation, this is pretty much what that does, right? It kind of goes, you know, it looks like it's a black and white. And then you can kind of go extra red. This part really depends on like your skin color or whatever it is, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and move mine to 60. That's where I like it for this. And then the sharpness, right? So sharpness is gonna kind of make it look a little blurry the lower you go. So you can see I'm on 0, but if I go to 1, it starts to clear up a little bit. It kind of makes my face kind of pop. You can actually see the detail. All right, now some people may go with 2. Me personally, I go with 1. All right, now we're gonna move on down to the exposure. When it comes to the exposure, I always manually do it. You could do automatic. As you can see, it looks fairly good, but like I said, it does depend on, you know, your skin color. You might be a little bit darker, you might be a little bit lighter. That all that stuff matters when you're messing with the saturation and all of that, right? So if I turn it off, you can see it just went completely dark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this on 160, the shutter speed, and then the ISO, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this out. Now what's cool about the ISO is I could actually bring this out and make it brighter without actually using a light, right? I don't have to go and adjust my light up there, right? So I'm gonna bring this out to the best look. I would say, okay, right about there. I'm kind of liking how that's looking, so I'm gonna leave that where it is. And then right here, I also like to manually do my white balance, right? So I can kind of set it up to have the best look. Now, like I said, you can leave it on automatic, but me personally, I just don't. Now, what I do, just to kind of show you what it does real quick, this makes it more blue. This will make it more orange. But for me, the one that works the best is roughly about 4,300 Kelvin, right? So let me go to about 4,300. And I kind of like how that's looking so far. It's not perfect, but obviously I'm going to completely dial it in. And you're going to see something that is an absolute game changer here in a minute once I continue to go through these settings, all right? All right, so I'm going to go with 4,300. I somewhat like how that looks. And then down here, right, you may notice I can't really do anything necessarily down here because this is usually tied to the exposure up here. Now the noise reduction, right? This is going to kind of affect the grain and how it looks. So you see I got it on right now. You can see right around here it looks a little bit blurry. So for me personally, I just make sure I keep that off, right? So pretty much I have all custom settings for the exception of the zoom, which I keep on default anyway, because I usually like, you know, the wider view. And then as we continue to go back down, that pretty much solidifies the settings that I, you know, typically use, right? Obviously, I'm going to dial it in. But the game changer is right up here. You see this blue button that says save? When I hit save, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, what that save means is it saves to the computer, but it doesn't just save to the computer, it also saves to the device. Meaning I can unplug this webcam right now and go 2 hours away, plug it into another computer and still have the exact same settings. That is an absolute game changer, and I have not seen that on any webcam yet, right? Powerful stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Logitech software. All right, so check it out. So right here, you can see I'm in widescreen right now, right? But if I come over here to the image, if I hit standard, watch what happens over here. Boom, you see how I just went more to a square, but I like the widescreen, so I'm gonna go back. And then right here, this is HDR, right? So on your phone, right, you probably got a setting like on your regular camera on your phone where it says like HDR. That's the exact same thing, where it pretty much pretties up your face and make you look a little bit more smoother. That's exactly what that is, right? So me, I just typically leave that on, but to show you, if I click that, you can see what my face looks like right there, but when I turn it back on, it kind of smooths itself out. That's exactly what it is. Now the anti-flicker, right? For me, I just leave it on NTSC 60 Hertz, but I think if you're not in the United States, you want to go with PAL 50 Hertz, all right? Now the field of view, right? You can kind of play with this. So if I click on this and go to 65, boom, you see what it looks like? then 78, and then boom, there's 90, right? Now, keep in mind, these are factory default settings, right? I still have not juiced these up, but I'm gonna show you how to do that here in a moment. All right, so now we're gonna click on advanced settings, right? So now we got our brightness, so I can make this extra dark, I can make this bright. I can also mess with the contrast. Let me bring this back down so you can see what it looks like. But right here, we can go up with it, make it a little bit darker. As far as autofocus, me personally, I'll always turn off autofocus. That's just what I like to do. For me, as far as my settings though, I bring this to about 53 and then I let this go to about 50 and then I don't mess with the color intensity and then I also turn off auto white balance as well, right? I like to do manual settings. That's just me personally. All right, so we got, that's kind of looking a little bit, we'll have to do some slight adjustments to kind of play with it a little bit. But typically these are right around my settings. I'm not really liking how the color is looking. Sometimes it does do us a little bit adjusting. I might have to adjust my light, but yeah, this is pretty much what I do pretty much every single time. Now, if I want to punch in, right, if I hit the plus sign, boom, I'm in. Then I can hit it again. Then I can hit it again, right? And then I can keep going in. Now, if I back out, I could just go there. And then when I punch in, I can also go up, down, left, right. I don't think it actually went down, so let me try it again. All right, so there it is right there. And then that's what I could do with this particular software, right? Very, very simple, but as you can see, it's limited on the things that you can actually do to make your stuff extra dialed in. So hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, definitely go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Also, drop me a comment down below letting me know which one you thought was better. And also, I almost forgot this. I'm glad that I remembered. The Elgato Facecam does not come with a mic, but that's not a negative, right? And let me tell you why. Because all webcams, their mics are absolutely terrible, right? I recommend you get yourself an external mic, either USB or XLR, doesn't really matter, just kind of pay for what you can afford, all right? Now, I got the links to everything that I use down below in the description to record, so just go ahead and check that out to see what suits you best. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.